fight fans, we got UFC 280 around the corner. I cannot wait. We got Charles Oliveira versus Islam Makhachev. Guys, I cannot talk enough about this fight because it is by far a very highly anticipated fight, probably the most highly anticipated fight of the year. And you know what? Right now, what I'm about to ask you guys is probably another highly anticipated fight that could be possibly happening, and that is Charles Oliveira versus Volkanovski. Alexander the Great Volkanovski, the featherweight champion, the pound for pound number one in the UFC, Volkanovski. So right now, what I want to ask you guys is this: how would Charles Oliveira do against Volkanovski? Now, guys, if you guys are more current and up to date and know what's going on, that Charles Oliveira had a press conference and he mentioned that if he does win this fight, which he can very well do, he has the skills, he has the abilities to do what needs to be done in this fight and beat Islam. Not saying it's 100% for sure, but he could do it. Be that as it may, he wants to defend his lightweight belt against Alexander the Great Volkanovski at lightweight, and then go down to featherweight, which is something that he used to do, which is a division that he was once at, and go after that featherweight belt against Volkanovski in the rematch. Guys, that's one hell of a lineup. He already has his two opponents lined up right there. He has that lightweight title defense, and he wants to go after another belt. He wants to become a champ. He wants to become double champ. He wants to become the next Conor McGregor, if you will, but almost in reverse. Conor McGregor did the featherweight. He did the featherweight and then lightweight. Now we got Charles Oliveira wants to do the lightweight and then featherweight. So, guys, that's 100% really, really interesting. Very, very, very highly anticipated fight right there, because you got Volkanovski, who is one hell of a fighter. The guy has not lost since his early days, probably in his first or second fight. I can't honestly remember, but the guy's just been on this crazy tear, this crazy win streak, left and right, left and right. He is constantly just taking opponent after opponent after opponent. His wars with Max Holloway, that war with Brian T. City, the domination that he put on over the Korean Zombie. How he was able to stop and handle Chad Mendes. Like I said, this guy is 100% legit. He is pound for pound for a reason, because he is that great. So be that as it may, how would Charles Oliveira do against Volkanovski? Well, that's actually very hard, guys, because even though he is big, Volkanovski is very big too. This guy used to be a 200-pound rugby player in Australia. So, you can't do that size thing. Okay, and then you got his striking power. That could be a big factor for Charles Oliveira, because Charles Oliveira has some striking power that can put anybody's lights out. We've seen what happened to Chad Mendes. We've seen how he was able to stop, not by striking, but make Dustin Poirier and Justin Gaethje, who both have been in really, really big striking matches with bigger opponents, and he kind of put them at a halt and made them like second guess, like, whoa, I do not want to have a firefight with this guy. So Charles Oliveira has some power. But here's also the little kicker: how is he going to do on the ground? Because we've seen what he was able to. We see what Volkanovski is able to withstand. To submissions, that guillotine that Brian T. was able to put on him. That triangle that he was able to put on him, and it just couldn't go nowhere. That's how tough Volkanovski is. Now, I'm not saying they're both the same. I'm not saying that Volkanovski and Charles Oliveira, Charles Oliveira and Brian T. Ortega is the same. They're two different level opponents. I'm sure Charles Oliveira's jiu-jitsu game might be just that much more stronger. We know Brian Ortega has a very, very good ground game, but I really will favor Charles Oliveira that much more. But still, you cannot count on Volkanovski. He is one tough badass. Really, really tough. And that would be a very good fight. Very good fight. Now, at lightweight, I could definitely give the edge 100% to Charles. Why? Because he's comfortable. He's not dehydrating himself. He's not cutting too much weight. He is actually looking really, really good. That's what he's doing. He's comfortable there. We've seen what he is like in featherweight. Now, because basically in featherweight, it's a different story. So lightweight, I give Charles Oliveira that edge. Featherweight, 100% all day, every day, Volkanovski. Volkanovski, I do not see any featherweight beating Volkanovski. all these up and comers. You know, I am a fan of Yair Rodriguez. I know Josh Emmett's around the corner. You got Aaron Allen around the corner. You got Calvin Cater. You got all these other up and coming featherweights. I'm sorry, guys, but ain't nobody touching or taking away that belt from Volkanovski at featherweight. Volkanovski is gonna have to drop that featherweight strap and move up to lightweight if he wants to get any kind of real competition. So be that as it may, no, I do not give Oliveira any chance at all. I do believe that Volkanovski could stop him, do either stoppage with his strikes, because just that drain that he put on himself all that time going against guys when he was a featherweight. I'm talking about Charles Oliveira. You saw what he was like. We've seen the difference. You know, he was winning winning up and down, winning a few fights, then losing, winning a few fights, then losing, and now here he is on this crazy win streak at lightweight. Why? Because he's comfortable at that weight. So that's my take, guys. I would like to know what you guys think. What do you think would have happened if this actually goes down, if Volkanovski and Charles Oliveira do meet, both in lightweight division and featherweight division? Let me know in the comments, guys. Like, subscribe, hit that notification button, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.